everyone, Scott here. Quick update from the day after. Um, yeah, doing all right. Stomach is stomach is more or less fine. I drank tons of milk. I kept my belly very full afterwards, and I think that really helped. Um, yeah, I did have there was some of that powder left from the Tube of Terror, and my buddy and I put it on uh, uh, Reuben sandwich, and we each had half. So that was pretty good, pretty tasty. I could feel it when it hit my tongue. I could still taste it, but obviously spread out over an entire sandwich, it was not overpowering at all. Just delicious. um, I've not normally when I do spicy stuff because I like spicy foods and stuff, but I don't have a lot of really spicy stuff very often. Um, Not very often at all. I mean, I have a canister, little tube of Flashbang, like 3.5 million Scoville, if I remember correctly, with all the peppers and stuff it has in it. And I usually put, a drop, maybe a few drops on something when I use it, which is not super often. I've had the thing for probably 2 or 3 years now, and I still haven't used it up, if that tells you anything. So going from the kind of mediocre spices that I say mediocre, but um, things like sriracha or Tabasco sauce, or maybe like Taco Bell fire sauce or Diablo. I do the Taco Bell Diablo sauce. I put that on stuff. But there's not a Taco Bell near me, so I don't have Taco Bell very often. So yeah, I don't do really spicy stuff very often, so it was quite a switch. But even so, like normally when I have spicy stuff, I get like bad gas cramps, intestinal cramps, and stuff like that. But this time, not nearly as bad. And I attribute that mainly to, like I said, I think the sheer amount of like dairy that I took in, all the milk. I had some cottage cheese. Of course, I had some bread. I obviously had the Reuben sandwich, and I had some cheese pizza later, a couple of breadsticks. So I didn't have any. I didn't have any Rolaids or Gas X or Tums or anything like that. I did have some anti-gas Rolaids on hand, but I did not end up using or taking any of them. So yeah, when I was doing the toe, like it was not super spicy right off the bat. Like I said in the video, I think it tasted like cinnamon. There's got to be cinnamon in there. It doesn't say cinnamon, but it does say natural flavors, so I'm assuming that one of the natural flavors is cinnamon. So it tasted a lot like cinnamon, and it was a little spicy, but not very spicy. And then as it went on, obviously with the 9 million Scoville heat unit chili extract in there, that fire turned into a blaze, and it got pretty hot. The flavor was not bad, but it was a little weird. I was on kind of an empty stomach. I had chugged some milk beforehand, and that was, I think, what mostly came up when I hit the the first vomit alert. God, I was getting in there. I was like, it started burning like crazy, and the time was counting down. I'm like, God, I gotta make 5 minutes and get down to about the 30-second range. And then all of a sudden my stomach's like, nope. And it wanted to send something back up. And I wanted to finish the challenge, so I stopped it. And I was trying to hold it in, and I tried forcing it back down, which, like, I didn't feel like throwing up again after that initial, and I think it was me trying to force it back down, trying to swallow it back down and stuff, and that, that mental, like, I'm swallowing puke, got to me. Luckily I was able to hold the sucker in and finish the challenge, basically. But yeah, the idea, the thought of trying to swallow back down my own vomit got to me, and certainly my stomach didn't want it back. So yeah, up it all came, and that was pretty awful. The thing that I'm most disappointed about in this challenge definitely is the fact that I threw up, um, because I went in thinking like I was gonna have the most problem with the spice, and it was certainly an obstacle to overcome. There's no debating that in like any way, shape, or form. The spice was immense. The fire, the heat, it was just immense. But I honestly, I'm shaking the camera a bit here. I don't know if that's showing up. Hopefully not. If it is, I'm sorry. But uh, even while I was dealing with the heat, like I didn't feel nauseous. I didn't feel like I was gonna throw up. And then, with the sucker, it just kind of happened. And then, trying to take it back down, and then everything coming up, that was, it sucked. it Yeah, it was kind of a blow. Like I was really disappointed about that. Comical a little bit maybe, but still kind of disappointed because I didn't think that I was going to, and I didn't feel like I was going to, but then I did. And then I had a few minutes in between. I didn't drink any milk, but the burn subsided, and then I started in on the Tube of Terror challenge. And with that, like I grabbed two at a time, chomped them, ate them, grabbed another two, chomped them, ate them, and thought, man, this isn't that bad. I don't know if it's because I just had the sucker. I don't know if it's the endorphin rush. I don't know, but like it's a little spicy, but it's not that spicy. So I went hard a little bit, and just two, another two, another two, but then the coating on the peanuts started to dissolve with the saliva in my mouth. Here, I'm gonna try switching my hand here because I'm like shaking like crazy, holding onto the phone. But then the coating on the peanuts started to dissolve with the saliva in my mouth, and that's when it really started to hit me, and it was super super intense. It started to burn really bad, and I started like focusing because it burnt. I was like mentally dialing it back, just taking one peanut at a time, which slowed down. Like it made me take a little bit longer with eating the peanuts, obviously, and then like the heat just kept climbing and kept climbing, and I got to that point. I'm like, holy crap! I should be eating two at a time. I don't know what I'm doing, and so I started eating two at a time again, and it was just pain, just super pain, especially right back in here. Whereas it felt more raw yesterday, like at the back of my tongue on the left side. And I got Fallout 4 I was about to play, but I felt like making just like a little update video to let everybody know some stuff about the challenge and the aftermath. Yeah, it was a little raw yesterday. It doesn't feel so raw right now, but the pain was severe. Especially like where it was mainly concentrated back there. I mean, my whole mouth was on fire. It was outside my lips, down here. I must have got some drool. I mean, my whole face, like everything was burning. Roof of my mouth, my gums, like I was aware of each different area of my mouth and how it was burning. Like breathing in seemed to help, but then breathing back out, like it was like when you blow on a fire and like, oh, there's less flame, but then you let go and then the flame kind of shoots back up. That's kind of what it was like. So I was trying to breathe in a lot because that felt good, but then I would breathe back out, and then it was just like extra fire, so I would immediately breathe back in. It was almost a reflex. But then I managed to make the 5-minute afterburn, and I was proud of myself for that. And I started chugging milk, and then my stomach was like, "You're full," and my mouth was like, "Just keep going, dude." So I just kept going, and then stomach's like, "No, you're full. Get it out." And then came vomit number 2. And like, honestly, with all the milk that I was drinking, this was several minutes past, I believe, several minutes past while I was drinking milk. I don't know if it was like 10 minutes, how long it was exactly. I'd have to go back and look, I guess. But then, like, the stomach was just like, you're not holding on to this anymore. You got to get it out. But the spice, the fire, it was still there, but it had lessened. And then I had to get out of that booth real quick, and got the garbage can, and I yacked in the garbage can, and a lot of that spice came back up, and then it burned again, and you could probably hear in the video, it's spicy again. And then I went right back to drinking milk. Did not throw up again. All the milk that I took in, the bread, the cottage cheese, the sandwich, everything, it really helped calm what was going on down there, and I felt a lot better. I had endorphins like crazy too. I mean, there were points where, obviously, it was a really weird reaction for me, like, to have my lips, like, it felt like they wanted to close like this, and I'm trying to talk, and I have to use my muscles to open my lips, instead of it just being like a normal reflexive thing for the lips just to cooperate. They weren't cooperating. They were trying to close, but I had tingly fingers. It was intense. It was very, very intense. But it was fun too. It was fun. I'm glad that I did it. I was hanging out with some friends. I went to visit some friends that I hadn't seen in a long time, and he's a bit of a chili head himself. We both like spicy things, but he has a lot more spicy things and eats them more often than I do. So he was almost going to join in on the challenge, but I only had 1 tube of terror. I did have another toe of Satan, but he decided that it would just be more amusing to sit back and enjoy the show, I guess. So maybe another time, who knows? But it was fun. So I got to hang out with them, and I get to do a spicy thing, and we all had some laughs, and yeah. And here today, obviously, I'm feeling like I got decent sleep last night, and I was feeling pretty good today. I finally had to bake a loaf in the porcelain oven, if you know what I'm saying. And it was a fire loaf, very hot, very, very hot. Coming back out that end. But it's passed, and I'm feeling pretty good. So yeah, that's an update. Any questions or anything you would like to know or whatnot, by all means, ask, and I will be glad to try and answer. And once again, I will try to leave my social media links in the description below, as well as links to my Patreon and PayPal. Only ever tips only. Never going to directly ask you or for money or tell you to give me money, because I think I deserve it, because I'm just having fun, and I hope that you're having fun too. So yeah, I hope you had fun. I certainly did. And this has been an update with Scottyverse. Scottyverse. It's weird to call myself Scottyverse. Is it weird? Is it weird to call myself my channel name? My real name is Scott, sometimes called Scotty, and I go with it. I don't know. It's weird. Now I'm having a reflective moment. This is not time for a reflective moment. This has been an update video, and I hope you are feeling thoroughly updated. Any questions, by all means, ask. And hope you had fun. See y'all next time. Have a good day. Scotty out.